If you are an established Amazon seller, then this video is for you. In this session, we will talk about all things related to Prosper Show 2024 and all of the reasons why you, as an Amazon seller, should take part of the event. I will be joined by Joe, who represents Prosper Show, and we will answer most important questions sellers usually have before deciding to take part of the event. If you want to learn more about the Prosper Show, or you have already decided to take part but don't have a pass yet, then check out the links in the video description below and get your ticket today. Hello Joe, welcome to the Orange Click YouTube channel. I'm really happy to have you as my guest today to introduce Prosper Show to US-based sellers who are just maybe a short trip away from Vegas where the event takes place, and also to European-based sellers to tell them more about the event, which I think is kind of one event that is most talked about in the Amazon space. So I'm happy to have you here. And first, maybe could you introduce yourself and tell us a short overview of the Prosper Show before we go into all of the different details?
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me. My name is Joe Marone. I head up exhibitor sponsorship for Prosper Show. Started at the event April 2020, right during the pandemic. We got through that though. This will be my fourth Prosper Show. That's a great experience. I worked for Emerald Expositions, who's the event organizer for Prosper Show. And it's, one of these events where it's been great to have a front row seat to. The growth and the amount of attention that Prosper Show has received in that short period that I've been on the event has been amazing. And I think maybe a lot of that had to do with the COVID bubble and the e-commerce boom. But yeah, it's just a really great, professionally run, well-organized event that I think all, not only Amazon sellers, but all e-commerce marketplace sellers should come to.
Okay, very cool. Yeah, like I said in the introduction as well, I think like at least as much as I go around and talk with different sellers and experts, like this is the one event everybody talks about. Even if they have never been there, they know some bits and pieces and they're like, yeah, I want to go there, but they're not too sure like what it is or what you can actually achieve by going there. So today we're gonna try to answer a few of those questions. So maybe we start off with the very the most important question. What is actually Prosper Show, where it takes place, when it takes place, and what's the basically the goal of the event?
Yeah, so Prosper Show 2024 is going to take place at Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas, starting Monday, March 4th through Wednesday, March 6th. It's a full trade show experience that includes both a conference and an expo format. The conference will open on Monday, March 4th, with the expo opening on Tuesday, March 5th. On Monday, attendees will be able to pick up their badges in the morning while the exhibition hall is being set up and start the educational tracks that begin at 1 on Monday. Prosper Show has developed its reputation as an event for professional Amazon sellers who wanted to educate themselves and meet other like-minded people. The show started in 2016 as a tabletop sort of networking educational event in Salt Lake City. It was founded on the principles of established Amazon sellers by leading experts, thought leaders, ex-Amazonians, and other multi-million-dollar Amazon sellers. The idea was to fill a need for a genuine educational conference without any pushy sales pitches. So in its first year, the show hosted 700 Amazon sellers and 90 speakers from all over the US, some of which had a presence in 10 other countries around the world. I think the fact that so many people attended that first event, despite the show not being widely advertised, showed just how many people needed an event like this in the US. So the following year, 2017, Prosper entered into a strategic partnership with Emerald Expositions, which is the company that I worked for. And we're a large publicly traded event management company responsible for organizing hundreds of trade shows and events across the world. we're the event organizer who has been supporting Prosper Show's growth over the last 8 years.
Okay, so yeah, you have been, or the event has been around for a while now, and that's probably also the reason why people are talking about it. So, what do you think? What's kind of the main reason why everybody thinks? At least I think, and I hear it, that everyone says that Prosper Show is kind of event you just should take part of because it takes place once a year and it's kind of like a gathering place. So, why do you think it's important?
I think it's important because, excuse me, it caters its content to established e-commerce marketplace sellers who have since evolved into large private label brands that have diversified their sales channels across multiple platforms and marketplaces. About 60% of the sellers who come to the show have operations in the US, with about 20% of the audience founding their companies in Europe. And I'd say 10% of the sellers are from the Asia Pacific region. 80% of the audience are or considers themselves third-party, private label, or established brand sellers, while 20% of the audience considers themselves more like first-party Amazon sellers, resellers, or wholesalers. I would say the average annual revenues, as self-reported by our attendees, is in that $3 to $5 million range. Interestingly enough, this past show in March 2023, we saw 35% of the audience claim they made over 10 million in annual revenues. So it's, as far as company size, you know, it ranges from companies that have 1 to 4 employees handling their e-commerce operations, all the way up to companies who have 250 to 1,000 people on staff running their brands.
Okay, so a very interesting mix of yeah, experienced sellers, but with kind of like a little bit different profile. So definitely matches with our audience as well. So the event has been taking place over a course of several years already. So is there anything how the 2024 events is different or unique compared to the other previous editions?
Yep, that's a great question. So Prosper Show is evolving into a full-scale e-commerce marketplace event. Many of the Amazon sellers who have been coming to Prosper since the beginning have differentiated their sales channels to sell beyond Amazon and are moving to international markets. The new sellers that are coming out to the show not only sell on Amazon, but have their own e-commerce storefronts and products throughout other well-known marketplaces like Walmart, eBay, Target, Wayfair, and Etsy. We've now seen newer marketplaces like TikTok Shop and Shein take interest in our event, and they're planning to be there in an exhibiting capacity in March. We changed the structure of the pass types for attendees to make it more accessible for everyone, depending on what type of experience they're looking for. As far as something new and or unique to Prosper 2024, we're going to be doing something fun this year where we give all the exhibitors a deck of cards to hand out individual cards to those sellers who engage with the exhibitors on the show floor. So this is going to be like a poker run style competition where the sellers with the best poker hands at the end will win some cool prizes, and we'll announce the winners at the end of the event on Wednesday, March 6th. We're also throwing a party at the Skyfall Lounge on Tuesday, March 5th from 7 to 9 p.m., which is our first bistro-style cocktail party after the first full day of Prosper Show. And something really exciting that the entire team and show staff are excited about is we're going to have our first women's meetup on Monday, March 4th from 11:30 to 12:30 before the show opens. And this is a special inaugural networking session that women in the e-commerce industry wanting to expand their network and make new connections can register for, either on the website through the registration process or after they register through the event app.
Wow, okay. Then you have planned quite a many additional, I would say, like fun and interactive activities, just in addition to the expo area and presentations to make the whole experience more interesting and more engaging for the attendees as well. So, actually, going back to the education part, earlier you mentioned that you have different tracks at the event when it comes to the educational part. So, maybe you can tell us a little bit what sellers can expect in terms of the presentations and what exactly is going on there if a seller wants to come and listen to presentations and see some experts on stage.
Yeah, another great question. I would say to keep up with the demand, we've made changes to our content to have more sessions related to selling beyond Amazon, going international and multi-channel sales strategies for e-commerce sellers. We've narrowed down the focus from grouping our tracks together. Instead of having like 6 or 7 conference tracks, we've condensed the content themes into 4 learning tracks. So you can expect sessions related to growth opportunities, marketing and advertising, sales, operations and business strategy, and trends and insights. So each of those 4 tracks will have different session types, from breakouts to deep dives and networking activities, which attendees can plan for through the event app leading up to the show. I would say of all the speakers, probably looking at about 80 marketplace experts taking part in the educational content, with close to 60 educational sessions to fill those 4 learning tracks over the course of the 3 days.
Okay, very interesting. You said over 80 speakers will be there, right?
Just about, yep.
Yeah, it's a lot of speakers, but very interesting, and I think it's definitely considering, yeah, what sellers are also discussing about when they meet each other and go to events, like expanding out of Amazon to other marketplaces and seeing other additional opportunities which are out there is definitely very important right now for Amazon sellers. So it's yeah, very good to hear that you have included topics like this as well. And besides the education part, of course, there will be the expo area as well. So, what kind of companies you usually get there at the expo area? How many companies there are? And I imagine I have never been to Prospect myself, but I imagine the expo area is quite large, right?
Yeah, it's in a large space with the Mandalay Bay. It's like this giant ballroom that's, colorful and carpeted and booths everywhere. I'd say we're expecting over 150 service providers that are represented across both service and software as a service throughout the relevant industry sectors. So attendees can expect to see vendors from business or capital funding, investment firms, of course, marketing, advertising, SEO, and PPC services are represented at the show. So, all the usual suspects, right? Supply chain and logistics, there's finance and accounting solution providers, as well as IP branding and legal services. And last but not least, I'd say that final category would be companies, vendors who specialize in product launch and content marketing. So we've partnered with other e-commerce communities here in the US as well, most notably the Ecom Cooperative and Million Dollar Sellers, who will both be exhibiting on the show floor. And they have some special activities that they're going to be doing to draw more of their individual communities to the event.
Okay, sounds good. So definitely, it seems like based on the profile of the expo participants, that probably if there are Amazon sellers who are kind of missing a service provider in any area related to running their Amazon business or scaling their Amazon business, and they're facing yeah, issues not having enough people or not having the right services to yeah, get the support from, then this is definitely a good place to kind of explore what are the options. So I could see that as one of the benefits of coming down to Prosper. Are there any other main benefits you think sellers could get from participating in the Prosper show?
Yep, of course, yeah. First and foremost, they become part of the community of experienced sellers. I mean, everyone there is to meet meet with others, network, learn in a fun, engaging environment. Attendees can expect to gain access to the latest industry trends and innovations focused on maximizing their profits, getting to meet like-minded people face to face, senior executives, top US sellers, and other industry leaders and experts who are all there to network with others. They're there to help people. I would say they'll also gain actionable insights from our educational sessions to give themselves a leg up on their competition and increase their brand awareness for their business.
Okay, sounds good. So yeah, Joe, as you know, we are Orange Click is European based, and we usually organize events in Europe. Although at our Orange Click YouTube channel, we do have audience, from US and from Europe and across the world. But one of the main things European sellers usually ask us is that, hey, would you recommend me to fly over to US to go to the Prosper show? So if you could highlight, like, why do you think each serious and determined European Amazon seller should go to Prosper, just, at least once?
I mean, it's in the world's largest adult playground, Las Vegas, right? Like, who doesn't want to be in Vegas? Um, no, but in all seriousness, like, the Prosper Experience is the fastest growing e-commerce marketplace event in the US. It was created to build a community of like-minded people with a thought out, formatted professional program. It's intended to grow not only e-commerce businesses, but careers and relationships. It's a platform where sellers can link up with others who share similar experiences. They will identify ways to problem solve, learn about anticipated challenges or changes to the industry, and just get a good feel for what others in the US are doing to grow and scale their business. But not only that, I mean, it's just a great atmosphere where they can meet well-known industry experts and thought leaders in the e-commerce space, as well as gaining face-to-face access to individuals who are there to, like I said, help others.
And do you have any special recommendations to, how can I say, how to get ready or what to prepare to kind of get the most out of the event? Because I imagine if you're a first time goer and you're looking at the website, it's kind of difficult to imagine how it all works and how it's all put together. Maybe you have something to share.
Yeah, of course. There's a lot of things I could say here. I'd say, first, like, use the event app to navigate the show. Once you're signed up, get in that event app, identify sessions on the agenda that you're most interested in and bookmark them. Get to those sessions early because seating for some of the more popular sessions can be limited. The event app will allow you to create a schedule to take advantage of all the networking opportunities and favorite select vendors or booths that you want to visit on the expo hall floor. We have 3 networking sessions that attendees will have to pre-register for. These are the think tank workshops. This is like the most popular element of Prosper Show, and it's a great place to network with other sellers and learn. These are workshop type carousel activities that are happening throughout the course of the 3 days. There's a think tank happening on Monday, March 4th for advanced sellers, which we categorize as 0 to 6 years experience in business. The think tank on Tuesday, March 5th is just after lunch, I think at 1 o'clock. That's for what we consider master sellers, or those who have been selling online for 6+ years. And then on Wednesday, March 6th, there will be the last think tank available for brand sellers. So more of the experienced sellers. So if you're gonna sign up, make sure you look at those think tanks, participate in at least one of them, and it's a great experience. It's a very popular aspect to the show.
Okay, very good. So you briefly mentioned Vegas is quite fun to travel to. So for someone who has never been to Vegas before and maybe also never been to US before, because as I said, I think there are a lot of European sellers flying into Prosper Show this year. So what kind of environments and experience Las Vegas offers for the visitors?
Yep, of course. I'm not myself, I'm not a resident of Vegas. I have been out there quite a bit. I'd say for attendees who are looking to sign up, utilize the travel and hotel option on prospershow.com on the website. Look for a hotel room that's on premise at Mandalay Bay. We have a room block, or it'll search for hotels that are close by. So use those resources on the website. Also, Mandalay Bay. It's a great property with lots of amenities and restaurants and things to see. I would recommend going on their website, peek around at the different resources they have to, navigate the property and other surrounding attractions. I think it would be best to fly in the day before on Sunday and enjoy the feeling of being in the city. Also, I mean, you have to get adjusted to that time change. It could be pretty severe, like, half a day backwards. But do some exploration before the show opens on Monday. So again, registration, aka badge pickup, will start on Monday, 8 a.m. The conference starts at 1, but again, there's that women's meetup that takes place at 11:30 on Monday before the show officially opens.
And one thing I would add from my own personal experience, I have been to Vegas once, and I would like to encourage actually European sellers who have maybe never been to US before, and maybe they're feeling a little bit like, how can I go there? Big state, never been to US before, like can't really imagine how Las Vegas is. To my surprise, Las Vegas is actually quite compact, and I love the fact that the airport is super close to Mandalay Bay, where the event takes place as well, and the whole main street is very close by, and I think it's kind of an easy place where to go first if you have never been to US before. So I think it's not like overwhelming. I think so. I know you can't tell it from your experience because obviously you're from US yourself, but just being an European, I can definitely highlight that going there, it's not stressful at all. And as you said, everything takes place at Mandalay Bay. The events, you can have your accommodation there as well, and all of the nearby activities are close. So yeah, definitely worth going. Cool. Maybe, yeah, I think we covered most important things about the event. So you mentioned for this event in 2024, you did some changes in the passes which are available. And we went through discussing the expo area and the educational tracks as well. So maybe could you once more highlight what kind of tickets are there available and how could the seller choose, like, what's the best option for them?
Yeah, of course. If you head over to prospershow.com and hover over the attendee tab, you'll see a drop down for pricing and registration. There you'll notice 3 different access types or like levels. There's the attendee all access, which is access to everything at Prosper, including the conference and expo. But you also get the meals, like lunches served, and it includes the networking party that's happening at Skyfall on Tuesday after the first full day of the show. The second pass type you'll notice is attendee conference. That's access to the conference and expo, but excludes the meals and the networking party. And then, like you mentioned, we brought back the expo hall only pass, which is designated for those attendees who want to roam the show floor, meet the vendors, and attend dedicated learning lounge sessions, educational sessions that are happening periodically throughout the expo hall during the show. So, I mean, if you get the expo hall only pass, you are going to get some content. We do have learning lounge areas where presentations will be taking place, but if you're looking to get more of a full experience, you might want to look into attendee conference. So you get to experience both the educational tracks and the expo hall, whereas attendee all access gives you access to everything, the party, and then all the lunch and meals that are being served.
Sounds great, and you will also find all of the links from the video description below to get your tickets and passes to the Prosper Show 2024. So definitely, if you're interested to go to Vegas, to go to the Prosper Show, if you have never been before, or if you have been before, as you heard from the video, the 2024 edition will be different from the previous ones and very exciting for all sellers to attend. So, Joe, I thank you once more for joining me today to give us an overview of the upcoming event. It's already taking place in a few months. Excited to see you at the event as well. And yeah, I think what's kind of your last call to action to sellers, like to kind of make the decision to come this year?
Come to the show, experience it. I mean, come to Vegas, meet the people. Like the US, the e-commerce boom, the evolution of the event itself, with Amazon being an exhibitor, Walmart, all these well-known platforms and marketplaces being present at the show with all of the experienced thought leaders and educators in the industry is just an experience you won't get face to face elsewhere. I mean, you're going to get access to, executives, top thought leaders that you see on LinkedIn or posting on socials all day, every day. Like I've heard some people mention that Prosper Show is like the Oscars of Amazon sellers, where all these e-commerce type celebrities are in and around the show. So it's just like a fun, engaging. I'd say it's a relaxed atmosphere, honestly. I mean, it does have a format to it, and all those types of things, but it's just a really, really fun experience. I've gone every year for the past 3 years, and of course, us being the event organizer, we don't get much sleep when we're out there. But I mean, it's Vegas, and we're there to have fun. So come on out.
Definitely sounds exciting. So yeah, everybody who is watching us now, definitely go to the event. And if you go, leave a comment down below as well. And we're excited to see how many of you will be there. So thanks again, Joe. And I wish you all of the best for organizing the event. And hopefully the 2024 event will be a great success for you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
I hope you enjoyed watching this video and are now excited to fly to Vegas and attend Prosper Show 2024. If you like this video, then also subscribe to our OrangeClick YouTube channel to see videos like this in the future. And now I would like to invite you to watch a video about European Seller Conference, which is one of the biggest conferences taking place in Europe for serious Amazon sellers.